just in, Youth Demand have spray painted the Ministry of Defence in collaboration with Palestine Action. And this is the latest attack. You can see them just jumping over the barrier there and spraying red paint onto the historic MOD building. Desecration, some may say. Well, I'm joined now by GBNews reporter Charlie Peters. Charlie, what's the latest on this?
5 arrests, Martin, for today's demonstration. This is a collaboration, as you said, between Youth Demand and Palestine Action. This is their first time officially linking up, and it marks an escalation in Youth Demand's activities this week. This is their third piece of direct action that they've taken since launching and gathering officially last week. We revealed that this group had made that collaboration with Palestine Action on Thursday, which has attracted significant controversy because Palestine Action is currently being assessed as a potential extremist group, according to reports, and Youth Demand is a youth spin-off group from Just Stop Oil, and they say they are campaigning against what they describe as genocides in Gaza and genocide caused by oil and gas licenses and the environmental damage caused by that. As you're seeing right now on your screen, some arrests taking place there. British Transport Police were actually monitoring a Youth Demand march, I understand, which was taking place through various tube stations in central London. They then a section of that protest broke off from the main group to go to the main building of the MOD on the embankment side, where they've sprayed the building in red paint. And red is significant because usually when Just Stop Oil conduct those protests, they engage with orange. This is a sign that those environmentalists are now moving away from their eco message and taking on the pro-Palestinian cause. Lord Wolney, the government's independent advisor on political violence and disruption, told me last week that many environmentalists were latching on to the crisis in the Middle East in order to get their message front and centre. And he also said that this was a potential cause of radicalisation as those groups combined. Yesterday, we saw activists from Youth Demand go to Keir Starmer's house, where they conducted a protest there. This was roundly criticised by many leading figures in the British establishment, including the Prime Minister and the Home Secretary, James Cleverly. And on Monday, we saw them breaking live on this show. We saw them spray painting Labour HQ, again with red paint. 11 arrests for that. We've also had 3 charged for that protest yesterday. So the third and potentially the final protest from this week of action from this new group in central London this week.
And Charlie Peters, you were the first to break the story that they were joining up with Palestine Action, and they said they meant business, and by Jove, whatever you think of them, they've been active and they're certainly grabbing attention. But that building, the MOD building, Charlie, it's a beautiful, historic, protected, listed building, but thankfully the police were quickly on the scene.
That's right, Martin, but also we have to recognise that this is an extremely sensitive building. It has round-the-clock permanent coverage from a specific police department, the MOD Police. And it's interesting that the British Transport Police were involved in conducting those arrests. Not the Met, not the MOD that are based there permanently, but rather that different specialist subsection of the constabulary who were already on board monitoring that protest throughout central London. So they must have noticed, it's likely that they noticed those 5 protesters breaking free from the main pack and following them there. In the footage we've seen released by the group, we do see other officers running down towards that location. Those are likely involved in the MOD police permanent presence at the building.
Yeah, thank you very much, Charlie Peters. And that's Youth Demand targeting the MOD building there with red paint. Thanks for joining us, Charlie. Always a pleasure.